Welcome to Starting Over Podcast. I'm your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and then this is the show where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you all for listening, all 50 of y'all. I appreciate it. And what I'm going to do in today's show is I'm just going to go straight into Batman the Animated Series. I'm not even going to do a set review. I'm just going to comment on the impact of this set and what it means for you going forward and trying to give you some beginning of the year clicks mindset things. The first thing that I'm going to tell you is Batman the Animated, Batman Team Up is by far the most expensive HeroClix set to date in terms of what you get. And what you would need to be meta competitive. Not only that, I sort of wish I put out my Storyline OP review and a couple other videos I had recorded, and then I took it back and I was like, nah, I really shouldn't do that, because I sort of had the viewpoint for a while that Slop, the Exosword Slop, was the beginning of the boiling of the frog. It was, hey, we said we sold out. Hey, we said we made money on these last few sets, but you know, we took some hits. That's what I felt WizKids was saying, and the way that they designed the slop. It's like, oh, but look, you're guaranteed an object, and I'm like, you could still fit that object in and guarantee my object and give me 5 figures. Okay? You could just do it, like Nike said. But unfortunately, we got bamboozled. We were like, oh, but look, man, like we get a tarot card and we get this, sword. And unfortunately, this is where I feel like the lessons that I wanted to, impart to WizKids about increasing value in a booster sort of got, backfired or misunderstood. I feel a card mechanic, and I do feel like we're going to now have to say there needs to be a card, quote-unquote, slot in HeroClix. It's not bad. It's going to be, an issue. And it does allow for you to add value to a booster. The backfire of all of this is as follows, and this is just my opinion, is that when you try to sub in 2 lesser things to compensate for one greater thing, you don't necessarily equal a whole, So with what we're seeing in the Batman team up, we are seeing what I do believe will be done again, and it will be justified by, we need to save cost. We need to, we're giving you value. Look, you got 20 million add-ons, when in all reality, you don't need that. And that's the frustration. That's the literal frustration that I see in this set. I'm not telling you like, oh, you're telling me I need to collect everything in the set and every construct and all the stuff. No, I'm not. And I think that would be ultimately foolish if a person tried. But I do believe that the design philosophy in this will end up creating shortage on super rares and chases, creating weird distribution problems, because Lord knows when they finished the set, they didn't hire anybody for distribution, because and who would do your distribution models, because they were looking to hire one sometime in November, which means October, November. So that means this set was already put to print with its collation. So what does this mean for you, the individual, going into 2023? I don't know your finances. I've always tried to tell my viewers, our listeners, the best thing that is for them. And I'm going to be 100 when I say this. You have a choice. You can walk away for a period. Try to ignore this set. Maneuver around this set, or give in to the set. And you're like, well, that's pretty much all the options. And I know, yes, it sort of is. But I cannot fully invest in this set. I just can't. I will even probably more so pick and choose what I'm dipping into than anything else. I would be very, very careful. But again, I'm a man with, wedding and trying to, buy a house in the future and a bunch of other expenses. So yeah, my money is become tighter, and I am looking at some things from that perspective. But if I was, a single man out here in these streets with a wad full of dollars, I don't think that just dumping my money into this set is a good idea. And for the return, buying blind boosters, I don't think is a good idea. Especially the way that they have the mechanics set up. And this is where I try to add some clarity. If there were just constructs that were called constructs, which they fundamentally could have done, that would have worked out. There's no need for us to have 3 copies of the same thing. Or, 7 copies of the same thing that fundamentally work the same. We could have just had 7 constructs and these work with your 7 rings. And that would have been it. Or you could have just sold them as collector pack things that would have worked really, really well. And you could have sold them for $50. And people would have bought them. Heck, you could have sold them for $70 and people would have bought them. The end result that I see coming down the pipe is if this goes through, WizKids will continue to do this model. Whether it's storyline OP or one set a year, whatever it may be, they're going to continue in this model. They're going to say, hey, look, this is a sometimes thing. We needed to do it for DC. There were just so many things. It's a one-time thing. We needed to do it for this, Rogues Gallery for Iron Man. There's just so many armors that you need. Like there's just so many armors that Iron Man's, villains have. We needed to do this mechanic. Like Spider-Man's rogues have all of these unique, crazy gadgets because he's a wild and crazy guy. Like you had to get Doc Ock arms again. Remember Doc Ock arms? Remember pumpkin bombs? And hit you with all those member berries. Remember, Shocker's gloves. Like, now I have incapacitate, but I deal, half my printed damage value, minimum, 2 or something like that. And all of these things will be justifications in the future for the same price gouge. And I'll say this, no one told WizKids go to bigger plastic models, but I do believe that they went to bigger plastic models in part so that they could display a higher level of detail to show collectors and to win awards at shows. It wasn't necessarily value for us, the player, but the cost adds up, and the chickens and the hens and all of the foxes have come home to the roost. And now we're looking at a depressed market in which people are having less and less money to spend on, just expendable things. And so I do my stock investments, and I'm never going to come on here and give you all stock advice. At least, to my best ability I foresee in the future. I'm not telling you my portfolio or how much I have. Just say I'm not balling. Okay, I'm okay. Okay, I'm making my 3 to 5%. Okay, but if I am being honest with what's going on in the environment, we know for a fact, we know for 100% fact that more and more people are living off of credit cards in the last 2 years. The credit card debt is getting out of control. I would tell you, homie, if you have debt right now, especially credit card debt, do not don't go gung ho into the set. I don't care how much you love the freaking Scooby Doo gang. They'll be there. They'll be there in 5 years. They'll be there in 10 years. Do you really need to whoop your venue using Scooby Doo? The answer is no. Okay, you really don't. Are there things in this set that are good for my DC players? Yes, it is. There are a lot of things in this set that is, scrumptious for DC players. There are tons of things that, from my perspective, are a little bit game breaking. But I wouldn't tell you go buy a case blind. Go buy 3 or 5 cases blind. Because unfortunately, that's what you sort of need to get the collation, to get the core pieces that you're going to need moving forward. And that's frustrating. That's really frustrating. And I'll just go through and point something out. One of the core things that you're going to need is rings. You're going to at least need 2 to 3 rings. You're going to need a Green Lantern ring. You're bound to eventually, need a Red Lantern ring. And that's my opinion. I'm not saying, oh yeah, blah blah blah. Okay. Orange ring is bound to also be an issue. Okay. All right. And potentially Star Sapphire ring. All right. Those rings in the current format have immediate uses. And then you add in the constructs, and I know folks will say, but the constructs got errated and changed at Dark Logos, and now this, that, and the other. And I understand. You can't just keep putting down catcher's mitts, Dark Logos. I understand. But where I am also presenting to you all to think about is as follows. Let's just say you go into 3 rings. Okay? Are you going to be using those? Are their mechanics going to be useful for you consistently? Do you view that they're going to have a stake in the meta for the next 2 years? Is having penetrating poison going to be, a core element of how you play? Is having willpower going to be more and more essential as you proceed in your standard of play? If not, then what I am going to tell you is just pass. Do you have a hardcore reason why you just must play the yellow ring for that negative perplex? You just have to do it. I'm just going to tell you, don't buy. Now, I can go and tell you, oh yeah, the Chase Scooby Gang, they're dumb, because they are. I could tell you, hey, look at, was it Deathstroke? He by far is one of the dumbest figures in this set. Yeah, he is. He's one of the dumbest figures that's been made in heroclix in a while. But if I'm honest and I'm being 100% with you, DC sets are more trying to get in and bring as many figures as they can to other generic keywords so that they can be played seriously, then they are actually offering something. Now you're going to come back and say, but Dark Logos, weren't you on that Outsiders hype back when freaking Sarkarian Iron Man came out and you said, like, yeah, we really need Outsiders to stop that shenanigans? Yes, I do agree. Outsiders being in the game is good, but my viewpoint sort of stands for many years that Outsiders needs to be a constant team ability that needs to be in the game. So I know some people will come back and be like, man, come on, give us that review, dog. We want the review. I'm not going to do it until I know everything is out and I have a full set list and everything. And I know some people's like, oh, check Clicks Nexus. It's like 99% there, bro. But I'm not going to do it. If anything I could tell you for this year is get ready. Get ready now. And if you've been ready, bunker down. And if you're super secure, start looking to help a neighbor. Because I do not see the world getting rainbow and candy canes. And I see a lot of hardships that are coming. Am I still going to have fun with this game? Yeah. Am I treating it like I did in the past? No. Would I recommend people to buy a bunch of product? No. Will other people do that? Recommend you to buy a bunch of product? That's their prerogative. It's up to you to listen to them. And I'm not going to inherently say that they're wrong morally, ethically, or financially. I am just providing a counter opinion. But I am in observation, but I am going to say, unless WizKids can give us a legit reason to buy in, there is no reason to buy in. Where is Rock? Where is WKOs? Where are the circuits? Where are the tournaments that I need to go to? Because the truth of the matter is, without that, all I have realistically to do is beat up locals. And that's only fun for so long. Okay, let's say I'm out of town and I go and play heroclix. I pretty much just play against some other locals. All right, let's say I know I'm going to a venue where it's world-class players. There's 2 world-class players there. Okay, I get some good games in. Great. But did I come in on 400 point, bring, your theme based off of, a TV show, day, or did I come in on 300 point modern day? And even still, did that person come in chilling, or did that person come in with the mindset that they were out for blood? So those are factors. But until WizKids, and I know I sound like a broken record from 2020 and 2021, until WizKids gives me a reason to compete for how much I'm spending to get the core elements of this set, I can't justify telling anyone, unless you have the money or you really, really want to, go hard on this set. Being 100. So I know that this is a really, really, really short show to what I normally do, but I felt like I needed to put it out there. I needed to say something. And I know someone's going to say, but Dark Logos, I saw you in the future playing Batman and blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? I either got a tax return, or I made some crypto money, or I made some stock money. Somewhere along the lines, I made some money. Okay? That's what happened. Or I just got lucky and I pulled it, or you know what? I have teammates, so I borrowed. Being 100. It's like Dark Logos. I saw you playing Deathstroke. Yep, I'm gonna play some Deathstroke eventually. That dude is dumb. Pulse wave. He pretty much just does single target pulse wave without you saying he does single target pulse wave. Okay. Oh, Dark Logos. I saw you play T Titans. Okay, I paid $10 for a bunch of commons and uncommons because everybody was offloading their product. If it's economically affordable, you're not breaking yourself, do it. But make sure you got food. Make sure you got, emergency fund. Make sure that your debt is being paid off. Because, buddy, I don't see the sharks and tigers in the wild getting any kinder. And these are the humankind. So, that's it. I'd like to thank you all for listening. Again, welcome to 2023. The saga continues. Wu-Tang forever. Bring out the killer bees. So you can follow me on Twitter. I might get back on there since Daddy Elon's there. Maybe not. If that's something that you all are looking for level interaction, let me know. You can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. If you wish to opine, keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. So, again, thank you all for listening. And remember, we all have to start over sometime.